Of course, I had to let the anticipation build. Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. This is my synopsis to the Oscars debacle, basically, the slap heard around the world that happened between Will Smith, Chris Rock, and Jada Pinkett. First, again, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. I put a little something into this presentation, did a lot of research, and I would just like to say right off the bat, listen, I'm not in the business of making you believe how I believe, okay? We're all different. There are aspects in life that you're gonna believe and I'm gonna believe, things you all are gonna do, things I'm gonna do, So it's not about I'm trying to change your mind, but what I do ask from you is to, just for a few moments, open up your mind and try to be receptive and unbiased and not so hardline and truly what you believe, and just try to see if some of it, a piece of it, can be plausible. The only thing I'm asking you to do is open up. Maybe this thing may lead to questioning some things in life. I think that's a problem with us as a human race, that we take too much stuff at face value. We believe everything we see. We believe everything we're told, what we're supposed to be told. And listen, we have within us that we should use our own cognizant reasoning. We shouldn't let nobody take, no one, the government, television, radio, the internet, we shouldn't let anyone take that away from us, okay? So, again, thank you for showing up, and let's get to it. All right? Now, first off, you all see my hair like this, right? All right, so I did this on purpose, so I actually picked it out. I could have twisted it, and it could be down in its regular form, twist it up and actually look like it was supposed to. But I did that on purpose because I did it for a distraction. Now, you don't have to tell me, but just be honest with yourself. Did at any point in time when you first saw this video, within the first minute or minute and a half whenever I was speaking, did you say something to yourself like, oh, look at Tony's hair, or look at Blake's hair, or whatever this and that, or he got a lot of hair on his head, why is his hair like, whatever the case may be. Did it take your mind off what I was saying, even if just for a few moments, because of the way my hair was? That's a question you have to answer to yourself genuinely. But I just wanted to make that a point. I wanted to make that a perfect distraction. And I'm sure for most of you, it probably was. Now, screw the stupid pig. Let's get to it, all right? Now, again, I'm just going to speak to the wind. Whoever this resonates with, great. The same thing that I'm asking for you all to do is what I can do if you all were talking to me. I'm asking you to be open and seeing if any of it can actually make sense. You don't have to believe it, but just be open enough to just receive it. Not just hear it, but just to listen to it as well, okay? All right, so I'm just going to speak to the wind, and whoever receives it, great. And maybe we can go back and forth and have some discord in the comments, because I would love to hear your honest assessment. Okay, now, for my Facebook friends and family, got approximately like 346. I have a firm rule about not having over 350. This is going to go on my Facebook page, but it also probably serves as my first page on my new YouTube channel that I'm going to have started. So that's neither here or there, because I'm not going to drop it on this video, the name of it on this video, because I don't think it's really important for that. So I want to keep the two separate. So, but for my Facebook family, do you remember the post I made about 3 weeks ago? I made a Facebook post about Rosa Parks, how she was not the first person that actually got on the bus and got arrested, and how it was all a ploy. She wasn't the first or the second. How really it was a teenage girl that was pregnant that was the actual person that got taken off the bus, that wouldn't move, that's actually lived the Rosa Parks narrative. But blacks and whites, basically, that when they use the narrative of another person, Rosa Parks, and she was basically a plant. She was a plant that purposely got on the bus to not move. So because of her light skin and her being an older person, that they wanted to use her instead of the original person. So the whole storyline behind that. But my point was, just to, it's 2022, that's 60 years ago. 60 years ago, that narrative was pushed on us as true. There are songs about Rosa Parks, there's literature about Rosa Parks, when really that was all set up from the get-go. It was all planned. That means it was disingenuous and it wasn't true. Okay? And that's what I want to get you all to see. That's why I made that post, and that's why I'm mentioning it now. To not buy into narratives, because narratives always have some type of ulterior motive. Just like the Rosa Parks thing did. There was a motive, okay? So, and a lot of people, enough people actually, thank me about that post, and said they didn't know, and appreciated the read or the insight on it, even on Facebook, so that it made me kind of feel accomplished a little bit, So let me keep moving. Okay, everybody that knows my occupation, right? That's on, just listening to this video, especially my Facebook friends, know my occupation. I'll just give you a quick, it's about perception. My customers think I'm the best carrier in the world. Man, you couldn't tell them no different. Trust me. Trust me. They freaking, they throw a sledgehammer at you if you said something about me. And guess what? I am the best. Look, and you can't tell them no different. But here's the truth of the matter. There's a lot of people that do my occupation. Am I the best? I'd say I wasn't. Am I the best they probably have seen? Probably so, but I'm not the best, okay? They don't understand that I too make mistakes. A very few small percentage of them actually have noticed that I made mistakes. Nobody's perfect. I've made misdeliveries in my 22-year career. I've had bad days. I've done things. I've took too long on my route. So there are things I haven't done, but just because someone perceives a thing, that doesn't make it true. Okay? No matter how strongly you feel about it. All right? So, and let's jump to another narrative real quick. I just want to open up your mind. That's why I'm starting this before I jump into, putting something on the screen. Let's think about Santa Claus. All of us, the vast majority of us watching this video, was raised up on the Santa Claus narrative, right? Here's the question I want to ask you. I don't want to say when, because everybody has different times. 6 years, 9 years old, whatever. Let me ask you why. Why did you stop believing in Santa Claus? Why? Not about who, but just why. Just take a moment and just think. Just why? Why? Now, it could be for a number of things. But at the base reason, maybe some kids like, no, it's older kids was telling you, oh, no, you crazy, you know Santa Claus. Yeah, but even though when people first tell you, you still believed in it, okay? All right? We can all agree with that, right? Right, everybody? Shake your head like this. Yeah, shake your big head like that. All right, good job. So, having said that, the most times, the main reason, the bottom line reason why we stopped believing in Santa Claus is simply because we grew out of it. Right? It's because we grew out of it. It's not because mama and daddy told you not to. Because guess what? Mom and daddy was actually pushing the agenda, pushing that lie. It's a white lie. Don't get me wrong. Look, nah, it don't hurt nothing per se. But guess what? Us as individuals, as kids, maybe 6, 9, 12, you had to grow out of it when you decided to grow out of it. Or else, guess what? Mom and daddy would have let your ass doggone be a grown-ass adult, 19, 20 years old, still believing in Santa. They'd have ushered you through damn high school believing in Santa. But it was our responsibility, even as a child. It's that child's responsibility to grow out of it on his own terms, the vast majority of the time. Us believing in narratives in this world that we live in is the same thing. We don't have to go believing in everything. We don't have to do that. You can choose to do it, but we don't have to do it. Because this world has shown how much evil is in it and how much deception is in it. So it doesn't behoove us to actually believe that. Everything that's on the news or in all these type of, outlets. All right. Speaking of deception, let's talk about wrestling. All right. We all know wrestling isn't fake. We all know that, right? But no, we won't wrestling is fake. I'm sorry, I misspoke. We always know wrestling's fake. But did Vince McMahon, head of WWE, did he tell us it's fake? No. He didn't tell us it's fake. But guess what? WWE is still a full go. They got people, grown-ass men out there crying because Undertaker loses and all this type of stuff. It's up to us to decide to grow out of it. Now, grown men that watch WWE, I have no problem with that. But my point is, it's not the organization's job or anybody's job to tell you something's not real. It's your job to identify it and keep moving forward. Okay, let's go to another example. We talked about Rosa Parks. Talked about that. I am not a political guy, okay? Not a political guy. I'm not Republican or Democrat. Reason is because I don't want to be affiliated with the right or left, okay? I'm my own human being, and I'm not in the business of playing games. If you're a Republican, great. If you're a Democrat, great. That's not the point here. I just want to bring up a point real quick. I just want you to, since you got your hat off and you got your mind open a little bit, think about the times, if you're a Democrat, right? Think about the times when you've heard that Trump is this and Trump's going to jail, he's going to prison, he's a liar and all this and that. Now, okay, put on that. If you're a Republican, think about all the times when you saw, Hillary lied, she deleted emails, she's going to prison, all this and that. You guys would have sold your freaking house because you're so jacked up about that. Tell me if you didn't freaking see that. You saw it all over the socials. You seen it arguing with family members and this and that and the other. You'd have put one of your kids on the line for that. That's how jacked up people was and how much they believed it. But let me ask you a freaking question. Did any of them, Obama, Hillary, or freaking Trump, go to jail? No. I knew they didn't, but you guys didn't. I'm not saying every single one of you, but you saw the energy and you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, you know who else who else knew they weren't going to prison? Yeah, you got it. Spot on. Extra credit for you. Hillary, Trump, and Obama. They knew they weren't going. They knew they had a job to do. But they let us down there be confused, fight, argue against each other, basically distracted like a mug. I never saw no concern on Trump's face, Obama's face, or Hillary's face. But you know how many people would have sold their soul and put their freaking life on the line knowing that somebody's gonna go to jail. I heard that crap all my, oh, this person's going to jail. I say, no, it's not. Oh, you must be for the other side. No, I don't. I'm not for neither. I'm just asking you to see how they push agendas so hard and they have people so pressed mentally. And it's all a facade. I know you guys don't want to believe that the prices would be the same if another party was in, but they would be. They got us chopped up in so many different pieces. It's 4,200 different religions, so many classes of race. We would never stand united as one. And they're having a ball up there. The ones that are in power, the elite, having a freaking ball. Now, I know a lot of people might say, okay, well, why did they call, why is the distraction? Was it a distraction at the Oscars? And I'd say yes. I believe it was staged. I believe it was manipulated. And, no, just straight up, I'm not going to say manipulated. I'm going to believe it was staged. It was staged and it was orchestrated. Now, you would ask me why. And I say basically because there's plenty of reasons why. You know, I just saw so many flaws in it from the get-go, but everybody's not going to see what I see. But it's not solely just for ratings, okay? Now, actually, the ratings, everybody knows, the Oscars used to be a big thing back in the day, but it's not so much anymore. Last year, the Oscars had the worst ratings ever in its existence. That's a tongue twister. So, the lowest. So, this year, they actually doubled the amount of people that watched last year, but the viewership was still the second lowest ever. So let me ask you guys something. If you had a company, and you had a company for a long time, and it hit rock bottom, the worst it had in decades and decades and decades and decades, wouldn't you want to do something about that? It sounds like a desperate measure if it hit rock bottom and the lowest ever. So to me, it was motive. There was motive involved. Now, do I think it's just about ratings? No. I believe it's about validation. It's about validation from the elites. I know a lot of people probably won't believe in a secret society. They won't believe in a secret society as far as an elite society. You know, if you're thinking that people are just, you know, around here thinking that everybody has the same type of mindset, everybody has the same level of enjoyment. No. Most of the people here that's watching this video are middle class, right? Okay? Probably every individual watching this, most individual, probably 90% of the individual watching this probably making between $35,000 and maybe $80,000 a year. Even though it's, you know, not to sneeze at $80,000, but you know, it kind of fit everything. 90% of the people probably make that type of money that's watching this. Some make more, some make less. But our thing is, if you're in that middle part, and you say, I guarantee you that the middle class, what the lower class, poverty-stricken people, that probably are 5 or 6 to an apartment or living in efficiency, their idea of a great time on a Saturday night is probably eating bologna sandwiches with cheese and sitting down on the floor and watching a VCR tape of freaking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know what I'm saying, on a 12, 14-inch TV. You know, with chips inside of the sandwich. Let's stop the show. Stop the show. You gotta keep it 100. When you put them chips inside the sandwich, man, that thing do give it an extra little kick, though. I ain't gonna lie, it be tasting good. I remember that from a child. But anyway, nevertheless, that's their idea. They'll be all scrunched up, you know, watching TV on the floor on a VCR watch a VCR tape. No, but that's not our idea of having fun. So what do you think? Look, our idea of a nice Saturday night as middle class is different from what an entertainer or a sports player would do on average on a Saturday night, because they're not middle class. So you gotta believe that people that have billions of dollars, their idea of entertainment is different from ours, right? That's only common sense. They don't give a crap about, oh man, let's go to the freaking Laugh Factory, or let's go to the comedy club in Orlando. They don't give a crap about the improv. They don't give a crap about going to Dubai. That might be on somebody's freaking bucket list. That's boring to them. Can you wrap your head around that? Okay, now, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Because this is probably going to get broken into two videos. But, to two sections, but let's just keep it moving. Let's go over what happened, briefly, at the Oscars. Chris Rock, right? Chris Rock on the stage, doing his little hosting thing and making his little comments, making his little comedy comments and, doing the little heckling and everything. Chris Rock is doing Chris Rock things, okay? He got, Jada Pinkett, he made a hair joke. Jada Pinkett, I love you. Can't wait to see you in the next G.I. Jane. And everybody, that started laughing, chuckling, and everything. Like, it's just a joke, right? Okay, all right, we understand that. Will was laughing, correct? We see Jada Pinkett, then she really got very uncomfortable and showed her displeasure in her eyes and rolling her eyes. Okay, and Will Smith was laughing. It panned back to Chris Rock doing his thing on stage. Now, let me pause. Everybody's been saying, Will Smith acted this way once his wife gave him that look. Once he saw that look, his wife gave him it. Let me ask you a question, guys. Answer this honestly. Did they ever show us a frame where Jada Pinkett actually looked at Will Smith and made that, made a disparaging look? Did they show us those two looking at each other? Shake your head like this. Yeah, shake it. Shake it. Go on, shake it. Old school jam. That's like 80s. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Some of y'all do though. But the answer is no. They didn't show us that. Why didn't they show us that? You tell me. I don't think it's not important. I think they didn't show us that for a reason. They showed the one girl in there, the one darker skinned girl for the Black Panther, as he came back, sat back down and did all that cursing. Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. Okay? Then he goes up there and slapped. You saw the video that came out afterwards, where after he sat back down from slapping Jada Star, kind of leaned up and was laughing. I'm not going to go and get into that. I just want to talk about what happened. Chris Rock made a joke. Flimsy, skinny Chris Rock made a joke. Will Smith laughed. Jada Pinkett Smith made a gesture, and she disapproved of it. Okay? So let's just assume Will got wind to that. Let's just assume that. He went up there because of her displeasure and walked up there on stage and slapped Chris Rock. Look, I believe it was staged, but we're just talking about what happened / what was perceived. Him slapped, okay? Went up there to impose physical harm on the comedian that had made Jada Pinkett Smith unhappy. Validating her displeasure. He came back with a smug look on his face, came back and sat down. All right? And the show continued. I want to show you something. How life imitates art. All right? It is what it is. Okay? Tell me if this isn't eerily similar.
You've seen him on Def Comedy Jam many times. Y'all give it up for my man, Reggie Warren. Give it up.
This is fair use content. Content being used for fair use. All right, you got a comedian coming up there. Let me pause it. See the comedian up there at the comedy club. This is Nutty Professor. Got a comedian up here. This is actually a young who? You said it right. Dave Chappelle. Okay? So let's check out his comedy routine.
What's up? Oh, what's up? Women be shopping, baby. Women be shopping. Hey, you can't stop a woman from shopping, baby.
That's true. Women do shop.
That's Professor Plump with
Oh, my God.
Jada Pinkett.
She's unbelievable. Look at this. Look like a handful of curly fries. Look.
He made a hair joke. Granted, she has a lot of hair. He made a hair joke.
What is a wave exactly?
Okay, he joked about to the white guy, but another hair joke.
Oh, no. Baby, no. She got more extensions than AT&T.
Another hair joke. Okay? So he sees that he's coming over.